when you think about this. I think a lot of these kids and their parents are nowadays, and that the level of entitlement is breathtaking. And it's no wonder why he failed initially, and it's no wonder why the coach got fired. So now they go out and get an offensive coach in Ben Johnson, and you know what? Now it's on his ass. It's going to be on his ass to live up to these so-called lofty expectations that he has for himself and that his father has for his son. And I understand, that there could be a discussion, hey, this is where quarterbacks go to die. Well, go fix it. Be the reason that the team is going to turn it around and you be the player that you think you are. And I would just tell them, just keep your mouth shut. You're going into the greatest league that there's ever been for the sport that we all love. You're going to have a chance one day to make $500 million because guys like me and guys before me all went on strike so you could actually make more money. So keep your pie hole shut and go out and play football and earn your keep and earn your respect.
Back about, what would we say, about 15 months ago when Caleb Williams was clearly going to be the first overall pick in the NFL draft. And there was some chitter-chatter that he wasn't terribly keen on the idea of playing for the Chicago Bears and that he might pull some sort of Archie Manning situation, Archie Manning situation. And there was a hot rumor that it wasn't his preferred choice. Yeah. And the Bears fell in love with him and sent a whole bunch of people to his pro day. That was when Matt Eberflus was still the head coach. And they had Cliff Kingsbury in to maybe interview for the job. And I thought that sounds perfect because Cliff Kingsbury was on the sideline at USC for Caleb Williams' final season there, and they decided not to hire him. They hired Shane Waldron, the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator, to come, and he really didn't light up too many fires in Seattle, although Geno Smith was having resurgent years there for Pete Carroll. But the reason why I bring all this up right now is, as we all know, the Bears went ahead and drafted him anyway, and he went and he showed up for the Bears. It was like a conversation that he and his dad were trying to figure out ways, weird, that to approach the draft that, shall we say, very few other prospects took.
We're talking like part of the team ownership, right?
Right, there was that conversation too. I just received a text during the commercial break of a link to an ESPN.com article about a new book that Seth Wickersham, who's been here many a time, has written, and it's coming out later on this year, called American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. Kirk Cousins is going to be featured in it. Drake May. Unprecedented access, apparently, with dozens of quarterbacks and generational greats like John Elway, Warren Moon, the Manning family, Steve Young, Johnny Unitas, among others. Now, Unitas no longer with us. But the reason why, again, I bring all this up is because in this book, Caleb didn't want to go to the Bears. And it is, in fact, confirmed by the dad, Carl Williams. And according to Seth Wickersham, he is quoting Carl Williams, Caleb's dad, is saying, quote unquote, Chicago is the place quarterbacks go to die.
Whoa.
Oh.
Wickersham said, Caleb wondered aloud to confidence, quote, do I want to go there? I don't think I can do it with Waldron. Later on in this article, it says that Carl Williams went to great lengths to try to circumvent the NFL draft, wanting to give his son an opportunity to choose his future employer. As we know, that's not the way it works. Carl was worried that with the franchise's history, I'm quoting from this article, stadium uncertainty and certain offensive performances under then head coach Matt Eberflus, that Caleb wouldn't have the organizational support to succeed. I don't want my son playing for the Bears, Williams told several agents in 2024. Ooh. According to the book, looking for a way around the league's collective bargaining agreement, Carl Williams spoke with Archie Manning, who helped Manning assert Eli, a measure of control over his eventual team in 2004. He also met with labor lawyers and agents, even considered whether his son could sign with, wait for it, the United Football League.
Wow.
So that's the Rocks League, right?
Yep.
And become an unrestricted free agent this year to be able to pick a team. In addition to the draft process, Carl Williams vented about the rookie wage scale, which could lock his son into a team that drafted him for up to 8 years. He calculated hundreds of millions of lost market value income. Quote, the rookie cap is just unconstitutional, Carl Williams told Wickersham. Told this on the record to the author. Later adding that the CBA is the worst piece of S I've ever read. It's the worst in sports history.
Oof.
That at the NFL Combine, oh my goodness, Caleb Williams met with Kevin O'Connell of the Minnesota Vikings. The two hit it off, and Caleb began to dream of what it would be like to play for the Vikings. I need to go to the Vikings, he told his father. Let's do it, his father replied. This is after they apparently drafted Caleb in no, it's not. It's before the draft, because they thought that Caleb would be drafted by the Bears. I'm reading this just now. According to the article, both Caleb and Carl knew that a trade to a division rival was extremely unlikely. Bears GM Ryan Poles stood firm, telling Williams, quote, we're drafting you no matter what.
Woo-hoo.
This left only one option, to publicly attack the Bears in the city of Chicago, hoping it would make the situation untenable, similar to what John Elway did with his dad, Jack, to the Baltimore Colts in '83. He's worried about me taking bullets, Carl Williams told Wickersham of his son. I don't care. I just don't agree with this S, you know. I'm more interested in making sure that he can do what he wants to do. Caleb Williams, in the end, told Wickersham, on the record, I wasn't ready to nuke the city. After a pre-draft visit to the Bears, Williams then believed he could be part of the process to turn the franchise around. I can do it for this team. I'm going to the Bears. Who declined to comment on this article. Book also sheds light on Williams' tumultuous rookie season, in which both Eberflus and Waldron were fired. So that is, you know,
it's a lot.
Hold on a minute. At times, Williams said he would just watch film alone with no instruction or guidance from the coaches. No one tells me what to watch, Caleb told his dad. I just turn it on. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I got to be honest with you. So this won't sit well with the, you know, Players Association, I imagine. But in case anybody's wondering if there's going to be any other fallout, Caleb Williams was kind of proven right.